Fortunes are made, battles are won, legends are born, all in the turn of a momentary past, that instant when fate strikes, clear as night turning to dawn. The world we have inherited is the sum of these parts. Moments combine, they form our history, our past. Today we share with you the story of one such people, whose moments are many and whose hearts are true, who count amongst their number men and women of great courage, living without fear of death. These rare few know everything there is to know about pain. Is it any wonder they ran to die unafraid? They come from the fold of the Sikhs of Punjab, sons and daughters of Nanak, the followers of Halimi Raj. The year is 1757, and since the month of Vaisakh, a foul stench in the air plagues the minds and the hearts of the Khalsa, an army of the purest of the pure, men and women whose allegiance is to the timeless Lord. They stand fresh from having rescued damsels in distress, women of all manner stolen from their homesteads. The Afghan warlord of Delhi, Ahmad Shah Durrani to be precise, ravaged the subcontinent, money and women were his vice. To be sold and spent at his own behest. But this didn't sit right with the sons of the true king, who Nanak the 10th had renamed Kaur and Singh. Reborn by the power of the double-edged blade, they vowed to live free, combining soldier with saint. Led from the front by elders on horseback, the Khalsa made raids in short bursts of attack. As it travelled, made up of carts of women guarded either side by the cavalry. They left the carts of money all alone and concentrated on carrying innocent women home. Some of these women lived hundreds of miles away, and these carts they didn't rest until they saw them home safe. When the families from whom they'd been taken saw them return, most jumped for joy and were relieved to learn that they were safe and unharmed, daughters, sisters, wives, back to where they belonged. But in some of those houses they were again to be wronged, damaged, dirty. What can we do with her now? It brings tears to the eyes and shame to us even now that a father or a husband could be so heartless. Let's reword that. It's dumb, the mark of a dying tradition. Even now, that a father or a husband could be so heartless. Let's reword that. It's dumb, the mark of a dying tradition. The Khalsa knew what to do. They shared with those women a vision of a world where they are not cattle or second class or held back. And so they left with those Khalsa. But I digress. Let's get back on track. He ordered his troops to halt and make for Amritsar County, their destination, the Darbar, from where only praise of Allah is sung, to all four corners of the world, to men and women, to old and young, where all are welcome, none are turned away, where all discontentment departs. Abdali raised that place from foundation to ground. Darbars of Amritsar blown up, silencing the sound. Skin crawls, body shudders, mind questions aloud. They who hate Harwinder must hate life itself, their soul under a cloud. That's what cowards do. They send others in their place or leave others behind to mark their territory, knowing that these Khalsa will return. His aides prophesied that they would rather burn than see the water defiled that surrounds the Darbar. And this is that stench from the month of Vaisakh that has brought the Khalsa to a momentary pause. A Sardar stepped up, aged and rusty stick, he carried a heavy talwar. His kanda gleamed and dazzled, as did the glint in his eye. This was no ordinary warrior, and this was no battle cry that he was about to announce. His name was deep meaning light, and there he stood before the Khalsa, his soul shining bright. It was as if the Guru himself stood unflinching and tall amidst the masses who had heeded the call. Baba Deep Singh, to give him his full honour, head of Shaheed Missile, one of 12 battalions of the Punjab under the Khalsa. He took that steel blade, raised it to the sky and then thrust it onto the clay. Between them, he drew a line, separating them. He looked up at each Khalsa, taking his time. Raised it to the sky and then thrust it onto the clay. Between them he drew a line, separating them. He looked at each Khalsa, taking his time, looking square into the eyes, into the very souls before him, and without the blink of an eye, his voice roared like seraphim. Only those who will die this day should cross this line, for our journey to Amritsar will be for the last time. Only those who will die this day should cross this line, for our journey to Amritsar will be for the last time. And in that moment came a flurry of steps, crossing over the line, arms beating their chests. One took on 125,000 like this. Beyond death they leapt, having given their heads. And in that moment, the outcome was a conclusion. They bested the Afghans, restored order to confusion. And in that one moment, the battle was won. In that one moment, sounded the kettle drum.